Greetings and welcome back. I'm here with you doing another unboxing today. It is Star Wars themed, so I'm rocking this Star Wars shirt and get my hair out of the way. This is a Star Wars shirt that I actually saw live and in person at a JCPenney, but they didn't have one in my size. They only had like large, extra large, and bigger. But I did get on eBay and find this one that's a medium, and I really like it. I think it's really cool. The characters are super cute, and a lot of them are represented there from the various original trilogy films. So I wanted to show that to you because this is, at its heart, a Star Wars item that I'll be unboxing. But before I dive into that, I want to talk a little bit about 3D printing and my experiences with purchasing 3D printed products. I don't have a 3D printer. I'd like to someday get one. And the reason I haven't bought a lot of 3D printed items is simply because I feel like I could probably, if I had one, produce a lot of the items for less money. Now, one of the items that I did buy 3D printed is a pulse pistol from the series Farscape. If you ever watched Farscape, great show. It's on Tubi. It might be on some other services. If you haven't checked it out, definitely worth a watch. I ordered 3 of these. It's been a few months ago. They come in 2 pieces, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. I think I paid about $20 a piece for these. Now, I am not sure what I'm going to use to seal them up because, like I said, they do come in 2 parts, and they need to be sealed together. I need to find something to permanently seal them. If you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to tell this, but they do need to be kind of like cleaned up as well. And I feel like that's pretty typical. My limited knowledge of 3D printing, some of this strings and stuff is pretty typical, but it's a good color already. It's shiny, and I really like it, even for $20 a piece. It is a little undersized. I feel like they were definitely bigger than this, and I'll show you one that I made out of foam that's shown up in a couple of my other videos before that my wife and I worked on that was made out of foam and foam floor mats. I do have another one here. I bought 3 of these at the time. This one is held together in a very tacky way. No pun intended, but using some Gorilla Tape just across the top. Now, I know that's very tacky looking, but it does let me get and show it put all the way together there, and that's what I was going for, at least for the purposes of this video. Like I said, it's just Gorilla Tape across the top while I research what's going to be a better permanent solution there. These did have the little sight that goes in there that would clip in there. When I went to get the stuff for this video, couldn't put my hands on those where I put them. I must have set them apart separately. So, but I do like those, even though, like I said, they are a little bit undersized. I'm tempted to maybe put them on a wall or something, just like this, as a display piece or something. I don't know if I'll do that, but I definitely need a more permanent, solution for holding it together in one piece. But it is pretty dang cool. Apologize, the lighting isn't wonderful, but I do really like it. And then let me grab the one that I made. Just one second. Okay, so here's the one that my wife, and I keep saying I made it, but my wife and I actually worked together on this. And it is made out of foam and some foam floor mats. Now, it is just a proof of concept. It's not meant to. It's obviously much bigger, probably closer in scale to what the actual prop was. You can see it's got pretty similar lines, and it looks pretty good. You can see the texturing here from the floor mats and stuff. But again, this was really just a proof of concept. It was kind of our first buy the templates. They were pretty cheap. Buy the templates, print them off, and see, what we can come up with and see how it looks. So side by side, obviously the size is a major difference. Now this one I could have Mod Podged and sanded. It got some of these bubbles out. I wouldn't have used the texture floor mats and all of that. And I get that. I realize this doesn't look wonderful. But again, it was just, can we even do this? Is this a hobby worth pursuing? And I think it is. I think that looks pretty darn cool. Since we made this, we've actually acquired some tools that'll make doing these things even easier, including like a hot knife, a hot wire, things like that would, clean up these edges. You could also go in and sand them. And I took some liberties with some of this is like a foam dowel across the top. I don't know how well you can see that, but it kind of closed off because these are a few pieces sort of composited together. The floor mats serving as the base, but then there's some of the thinner foam that makes up some of the other layers. But anyway, so that is the Farscape pulse pistols that I bought. These came from the UK, so the biggest, I guess, downside I would say about them is it took like a month for me to get them. But I did order 3 of them. I think I paid about 20 bucks a piece for them. I think for all 3 it was around $60, and I waited about a month. And it's been a few months since I got these originally. But what I have today came from Mexico, so from our friends in another part of the world, and it took about a month. I ordered it on May the 7th. Today is June the 7th, and I've had it for a couple of days and just been kind of holding on to it, trying to decide how I wanted to approach this and what I wanted to do in addition to the blaster. So let me grab my box cutter and get this started opening. All right, so I've torn open the paper here, and I do that kind of off screen because in the past I have kind of cut myself or scratched the item, and it's definitely not something I want to film myself doing. But as I was saying, I got this one from Mexico. If anybody's interested in ordering from the same seller, I think he does a few different props. Just hit me up in the comments and I'll get his actual information. This one did cost me a hair more than the Pulse pistols. I think I paid about $25 or $26 when it's all said and done with tax and shipping and everything. And like I said, it took just about a month. We'll call it 4 weeks to arrive. But it is from Andor. I believe from Andor, the series. Could also be from Rogue One. Rogue One, one of my favorite Star Wars films. Andor, I did enjoy. I enjoyed it a lot, actually, but took a little bit to get into it. It's a little bit slow moving. I was trying to talk my brother into watching it, tell him a little bit about it. First couple of episodes, first couple of chapters, I think maybe they call them, a little bit slow. You got to kind of give it a chance to get good, and it does. It gets pretty darn good. But anyway, this is supposed to be his blaster. Let's see what it's all about. See what kind of a deal we got. So that is it. Just making sure there's nothing else in there. And it looks like it is maybe broken or needing to be assembled. It looks like the handle is off. I don't think that was by design or supposed to be that way. So that's going to be an unfortunate circumstance as I try to show this. But again, something that, yeah, definitely looks like it maybe was glued in some fashion prior to shipping and maybe broke in transit. So a little bit disappointing when you pay that much for a prop. Hopefully an easy fix. But let's look at what we do have here. It's a little rough. Feels a little like stuff's kind of flaking off of it. But I'll, of course, lay these all down and do a flyby. But basically, you can just kind of see what you call that, the carbine part of it. This is the handle that is now its own separate piece until I figured out a fix for that. But it's pretty cool. A lot of pretty cool detail on it. I'll be excited to to get it reassembled. Maybe the Gorilla Tape will factor into this one as well. Was there any other pieces? Just some stuff that's kind of flaked off. I mean, I can hold it together and you can kind of see, what it looks like in my hand if I do that. I like it though. I mean, I wish it wasn't broken, but it is what it is. I also wish the jets weren't flying over. Let me pause the video till that passes. All right, so as you can see here, I've kind of got everything laid out. Here is my newest acquisition, the Andor blaster, unfortunately in 2 parts right now. A look again at the Pulse pistols that were 3D printed that I got from the UK, and the Pulse pistol my wife and I made from some foam templates. Give you a front and back. Apologize again for the lighting and focus there. Trying to make it look how it should look, how it looked in the auction listing. But size-wise, it's comparable to the props that I got from that other seller. And that could be, these may be a little bit smaller just based on the area that you have to do a 3D print. Again, I'm not super knowledgeable about that, but it seems to be maybe a fair assumption there. All right, and so that's a wrap on the Andor blaster, 3D printed from eBay, about $25. Please let me know in the comments what you think about the purchase, the item itself, channel, the content, etc. If you know of a way to fix this and seal these together that doesn't involve Gorilla Tape, or maybe it does, but probably something better and more permanent, hit me up in the comments and let me know. Maybe show me some of the things that you've 3D printed, or maybe 3D printed props that you've bought whatever. Love to see it. Love to interact with people and get people's take and opinion and kind of know what they're up to and all about. But more than any of those things, please just have yourself a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and we will see you next time.